We have Dr. Bradley Meyer of the Okoboji Wellness Clinic joining us this morning. And good morning, Dr. Meyer.
Good morning, Nathan. Good morning, everybody. Good to be here.
Yeah, and it is good to be here. It's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day. And, of course, every time we have you on, you are always looking to help us be better on our wellness journey. And you wanted to talk about mold today, but not the mold that maybe we think about.
Yes, so it's going to be an epic day today. I always like to start off my days saying today is going to be amazing. It's going to be great. Set the stage for the day and expect great things for yourself, because that setting that intention that's huge. And some of the things that because we're coming across in our environment every day, are stressors to our body. So again, if we're setting that mindset every day, that's a big key. But some of the stressors that come across our body, one of them is mold. And it's something that I've kind of picked up more on in the course of the last year regarding the effects it can have on inflammation. And so as we've talked about in the past over the last months, inflammation in your body over time can cause disease. It can cause different parts of the body to start to not perform at their peak. And so what we're trying to do wherever we go, we always talk about a little detective work, because we find folks coming in to see us that are kind of spinning their wheels. They're inflamed, brain fog, chronic pain, maybe not breathing so well, got the sniffles, congestion, this pesky cough. We want to always think about the cause. We want to detect that. And then we want to remove that cause. And after that, we want to repair the damage that was caused by whatever that toxin is. And so we look at all the things in our environment, and over the course of time, a lot of things we talk about are its nutrition. It might be microplastics. It might be the chemicals in our environment, heavy metals. But mold is what they call the great masquerader, and it can mimic a lot of problems, and it can inflame the body in a big way. In fact, some of the things that you might see with it outside of nasal congestion, sinus pressure, chest congestion, shortness of breath, you might see things like neuropathies causing numbness, feeling of numbness in your extremities. You could also have brain fog. It also be connected to things like psoriasis, skin conditions. And so when we are looking at identifying is mold a factor for you, we will do that oftentimes by a good history. So we sit down and we look at your history from the time you were born to present day, and we see what are the factors involved, what are the different things that we've been exposed to. So if my suspicion is high enough, we may then end up doing a blood test. And that blood test, if it comes back positive, then we look at treatment. And molds, what they do is they put off a mycotoxin. And a mycotoxin, there's different kinds that affect different organs in the body that can then lead to different diseases and inflammation in those areas. So those mycotoxins, they essentially inhibit DNA synthesis and repair. So this is the basics of just repairing your body over time. If you've got mold in there, it's constantly working against your body's ability to repair itself. So over time, if your body's fighting that mycotoxin and can't get rid of it, then it loses voltage. Your body does, decreased energy, and over time we start to develop some of these symptoms like brain fog, chronic fatigue, chronic pain, neuropathies, skin conditions, memory not quite as sharp, all these things, the longer that we're exposed to this. And so we want to ramp up our immune system to overcome that toxin. So again, we find it, we remove it, and then we repair it, because a lot of times, where is the biggest part of our immune system? One of them is in our digestion, in our gut. And so that's why many times we will focus back in on that digestive tract, the gut, when we look at all these different toxins that are affecting the body. We will circle back to the gut, make sure the digestive tract is in balance. And there's a whole lot of different ways to go about this. So, but one example that's pretty cool, I had a gal was in here recently, and she shared lots of exposure. She was talking about how her husband would cut corn stalk, and it was then she's on an acreage in the country, and of course the corn stalks, anytime you have moisture, there's the potential for mold. And so these corn stalks had been around and been rained on, and then a harbinger of mold. And so as he's processing through these, any kind of breeze or wind can take that into the home, and then we breathe these things in, and they line our epithelium of our lungs and our sinus cavities, and they can stay there if our immune system's not strong enough to get rid of it. And so, interestingly, she has talked to me about feeling inflamed, puffy, brain fog, poor energy. And in this last summer, when she came in, we went down this road a little bit, and we treated her with herbals, and those herbals were focused at mold. And she shared with me, she's like, during that 1 month period of time, that swelling went away, the inflammation went away, her energy got better. So as we circled back recently here, and I'm like, some of those symptoms had come back. I'm like, well, maybe we need to do a stronger treatment and a longer treatment, but we also remember we have to look at what is the exposure and mitigate it. So many times I'm having folks, if they do have a positive test, it's getting one of our home kits and taking that home and measuring it, is there mold at home? Because if we treat you and you continue to have exposure, then we're never going to truly get ahead of the game. So, but pretty exciting when we kind of, on an extended long visit yesterday, put all the clues together, and I really believe that's a big piece for her. So we're going to actually do a full serum blood test to measure her for mold, and then we plan to go ahead and treat her, and sometimes we'll treat for 1 to 3 months. So again, another example, Nathan, of detective work. A lot of times it takes some time to get the body back into balance, but overall we're always looking to reduce that inflammation. Find the trigger, identify it, remove it, and repair, and then we throw in those beautiful things that help the body metabolically and help the energy level that we always talk about, the ozone therapy that we do here, the hyperbaric therapy. There's so many different approaches to amp up the body's battery, so to speak. So if we give the body more energy, then the body is able to then fight these things better, reduce that inflammation. But again, it's not in a vacuum. We got to hit all the pieces of the puzzle.
As you would always say, too, find the root cause of what's really going on.
Absolutely, and it's you just kind of look at labs. It's process of elimination, and it's listening to our guests, because so oftentimes they will lead us right to where we need to go next, and then we follow that path wherever the Spirit is guiding. The Holy Spirit is guiding my intuition and their intuition. Many times we get to where we need to go a lot faster.
Absolutely. So to wrap things up here, Dr. Meyer, how can folks get a hold of you, and where can they find you?
Yeah, you can get a hold of us at 712-339-6024, and we are in Spirit Lake off of Highway 71 at 3305 Berkwist Avenue. Come in anytime if you want to take a peek at the place, and we can walk you through, give you a little tour. I do discovery calls that are complimentary, and those are a chance, a 15-minute visit with me to do a little quick review of your history and see what's going on, and maybe if you decide you want to get going on that wellness journey, feeling better, how we'd go about moving forward with you before you come into the clinic. So sometimes that's kind of nice to get some of those questions answered before coming in and spending some time with us.
Sounds good. Dr. Bradley Meyer, I appreciate your time as always, helping us get better on our wellness journey. Have a great rest of your week, and we will chat with you again next week.
Sounds great, Nathan. Be well, everybody. Take care.
That is Dr. Bradley Meyer of the Okoboji Wellness Clinic. Again, their number 712-339-6024. Okoboji Wellness Clinic, helping you get better on your wellness journey.